The Department of Mathematics dean, who heard this, was very angry and pointed at Sam, saying it was outrageous to demand special treatment in broad daylight, as if Chin University were their own home. 1 second ago, Sam was still being scolded by the Department of Mathematics dean. Unexpectedly, the next moment, he became the dean's closed-door disciple. Just now, Sam came to find directly to solve the issue of, and not participating in military training. He was scolded by the dean of the Department of Mathematics nearby after she heard about it. Directly asked Sam to come back and see him again later. The Department of Mathematics dean just realized that he was the Sam in question. He walked up and grabbed Sam's arm. He pointed it directly and said, "Don't blame me for not giving you face. Today, I'm going to see if this math genius is real or fake." After saying that, he grabbed Sam and left. "Come with me. I'm going to test and teach you now." Seeing Sam being dragged away, directly felt some concern. Professor Chen is known to be very stubborn, and with Sam's personality, he might be taken advantage of by Dean Chen. Directly then turned to Principal and said, "Principal, let's hurry up and go see what's happening up there." Principal, however, remained very calm and composed. If this kid can't pass Dean Chen's test, it's not worth Chin University making special arrangements for him. "Let's go. Come with me to deal with other matters first. We'll go take a look later." Directly, who had no choice, could only pray silently, Sam, please don't anger Dean Chen." On the other side, Professor Chen escorted Sam to Dean's office at the Department of Mathematics, had Sam sit down, and asked him to rewrite the proof of the BSD conjecture. Sam is still confused until now. What's wrong with this old man? Should I give him face or just turn around and leave? Sam looked around and saw the walls covered with certificates and banners. This is a respected scholar who has dedicated their entire life to science. Although he didn't know what happened, let's give him some face. Sam picked up the pen on the table and started writing the proof of the BSD conjecture. Sam wrote a sheet, and Professor Chen picked it up to take a look. Unexpectedly, this kid still has some talent. As Professor Chen looked at the last sheet of evidence, his pupils suddenly shrank. This has actually been solved by the kid. The principal and directorly, who had been busy with other matters, arrived at the Department of Mathematics. Directorly knocked on the door of the dean's office, but there was no response from inside. Directorly, who was afraid that something might have happened, directly opened the door. He did not expect to see a very harmonious scene. And Professor Chen wants to accept Sam as his closed-door disciple. Principal and directorly were astonished. Is this still the same Professor Chen who is as cold as an iceberg all year round? She is the top female talent of Chin University, already making a name for herself internationally at just over 20 years old. Today, however, she easily believes someone's nonsense. She thinks that Sam's BSD conjecture is academic fraud. Just half an hour ago, Professor Chen was in the office. He said to his research student Edgar, "This time, I have found you a talented junior fellow with limitless potential. It's my luck to have him as a disciple since he has cracked the 5 great conjectures at such a young age. I will nurture such a promising talent carefully." Graduate student Edgar was thinking about something else, while the old man kept mentioning that Sam for half an hour. "It looks like my position is about to be taken away by him. I need to do something about it." Edgar exchanged a smile and said to Professor Chen, "Teacher, is the 5 great conjectures really so easily solved? Shouldn't we check it carefully again?" Upon hearing Edgar's words, Professor Chen also remembered that Sam's proof was indeed too clever in some places. Professor Chen is planning to make a trip to the laboratory to apply for the use of the Yaoqi No. 2 supercomputer to recalculate several sets of key data. "Let me do it, Professor," Edgar said. Professor Chen saw through his little secret. "Do you have a crush on your brilliant senior sister Lulu in the laboratory?" Edgar felt a bit embarrassed by Professor Chen seeing through his thoughts. He scratched his head apologetically. "Teacher, I just admire Lulu's talent." Professor Chen just smiled and decided to let Edgar go for him. However, he wanted Edgar to write a letter first, and also asked him not to spread Sam's evidence everywhere. If there are any loopholes in Sam's evidence, it will also not be good for Sam's reputation. Originally, this kid caused controversy by randomly choosing a major, and now I have to worry about his future reputation issues. It's really troublesome. Professor Chen was talking to himself, and didn't notice that Edgar's facial expression had changed at all. Why does Teacher Sam always bring up this Sam? Edgar's heart hardened. Sam, no matter where you came from, since you blocked my way, don't blame me for being impolite. Edgar went to the lab and found Lulu. He handed Professor Chen's letter to him. And he said that the teacher meant to verify these key data sets with the help of Yaoqi number 2. Lulu opened the letter and took a look. Dean Chen has actually proven the 5 great conjectures. After reading the letter, she only then realized that it was proven by a new student named Sam. Lulu couldn't help but feel amazed that Dean Chen, who usually couldn't be bothered to send even an email, would spend so much effort on this Sam. Just then, Edgar started causing trouble. This Sam is indeed quite powerful. But I heard that he chose the Department of Foreign Languages instead of the Mathematics Department because of falsifying grades. He's afraid of being exposed in the Mathematics Department. Lulu believed Edgar's words to be true. It's rare for Dean Chen to value someone so highly. It turns out that person is just a fool. It seems like this certification didn't come from him either. In the face of absolute strength, all schemes and tricks are useless. When the Joker Edgar is digging a hole for Sam. On the other side, for boys in dorm are cleaning up. Jay deliberately swept the trash next to Troy's bed. Troy asked Jay, "What are you doing?" Jay replied, "Since you are right at the door, just sweep the trash out together." Troy was very angry. He rolled up his sleeves and was about to deal with Jay. "You switch beds with me, and then you sweep the trash out," he said. "What do you mean by that?" The two of them were at odds, and it looked like they were about to fight. Sam couldn't stand it anymore. These two troublemakers are getting more unpredictable each day. All right, stop fooling around. Hurry up and finish cleaning. We'll go out for dinner. Bowen, who was standing on the side, coughed a few times. Class monitor has spoken. Why are you two still not stopping? Both of them looked straight at Bowen. Bowen was confused about what was going on. Both of them pointed at Bowen again and said, "Boss can't let him get away with it. He framed you, Bowen. This is called playing dirty." Bowen quickly waved his hand. "Don't falsely accuse me. I didn't mean it." Sam took a long breath out. He said to the two troublemakers, "What are you up to since I returned to the dorm?" Bowen added, "Don't you think whoever tries to please the boss will get close to Anne?" The two of them looked a bit awkward, spreading their hands in a helpless gesture and said, "The boss is the boss. Our little tricks are completely useless." Bowen recalled something that happened in the class and said to Sam, "I think someone in our class is not happy with you being the class monitor and is talking behind your back. What are your thoughts on this?" Sam, on the other hand, expressed that he didn't feel anything and was very calm. Bowen is a little confused. They were talking bad about you and trying to damage your reputation. Do you have any thoughts on this? Sam spread his hands and said, "Let them say whatever they want. I just need to be a good class monitor so they have nothing to criticize." Bowen clapped his hands and said, "I admire this. Perhaps this is the mindset of a strong person." The two of them also raised their thumbs together. In the face of absolute strength, all schemes and tricks are useless. The clown Edgar is on the edge of seeking death, crazily probing. He just told Lulu that Sam's grades are faked. The next second, he reported to the International Mathematics Committee. "Do you think Sam can still stand out in front of me just with you? Even though I am your senior. But looking at the situation, let alone being co-first author, you probably won't even be able to make it as the second author. Thinking that I would tolerate you. You are simply dreaming. Watch how I make you look bad." Young people should learn how to conduct themselves before learning how to work. 1 hour later, several sets of key data verification for the BSD conjecture were completed. Lulu told the assistant to hand the results to the Department of Mathematics dean. The assistant asked Lulu what this was. This is the proof of the BSD conjecture. The verification was successful. The assistant was just about to go find the Department of Mathematics dean. Did he suddenly realize the BSD conjecture? Lulu, do you mean that this is the BSD conjecture, which is one of the 5 great conjectures in the world? Is it difficult to ask you to inform Dean Chen, Lulu, who is a bit annoyed? The assistant ran away in a hurry. Lulu stood still for a while. No matter who will successfully prove the BSD conjecture. That is also not possible. Sam, who is afraid to even enter the Department of Mathematics. On the other side, Sam received a phone call. Turns out it was Dean Chen inviting him to visit the laboratory. Here is our most advanced large-scale computer. In the future, you will often need to use this place for research projects. My main purpose in bringing you here is to show you around, but I also want to take this opportunity to introduce the 2 young geniuses from your generation to each other. Professor Chen pushed open the door and saw Lulu still busy at work. You are indeed still working hard here, just like before. Lulu turned her head at the sound of the door opening and saw Professor Chen. Dean Chen, you're here. Who is the person next to you? I understand. You must be Lulu. Dean Chen told me that you are the genius senior sister from Qin University. Hello, I'm Sam. After that, he courteously extended his right hand. Lulu heard Sam's very biased remarks against him in an instructive tone that doing academic work still requires a down-to-earth approach, and being well-versed in social etiquette won't yield any results. Professor Chen is very surprised. Sam is also a bit confused. What's going on with Lulu? I don't think I offended her. I never expected that Lulu, the top female student at Qin Uni, she would actually apologize to Sam. Just now, Lulu handed a report to Professor Chen. I was inspired by the proof you provided for the BSD conjecture and had some new ideas. Professor Chen looked at it for a moment. He asked Sam to come over and take a look as well. Lulu is a little annoyed. Dean Chen, what did you ask him to see? Sam doesn't understand. Why does it feel like Lulu is targeting me? The system prompts that to embark on the road to genius, one also needs companions to journey together with. Obtain Lulu's approval. Sam didn't expect to have a task. Lulu also values her, and Dean Chen as well. In order to make things easier in the future, he will have to figure out a way to intimidate her a little bit. Sam pointed at the report and said, Dean Chen, this new project won't work. Lulu was very upset to see Sam making gestures at her report and said, You, a person who commits academic fraud, dare to criticize my report. Dean Chen also said, I was thinking the same thing. There does seem to be some issue here. Take a closer look at the 3rd paragraph. Sam then expressed his own opinion. Lulu's approach is not necessarily impractical. In fact, she can choose a new direction. Dean Chen asked Sam to elaborate. Sam went on and on about it in great detail. Professor Chen suddenly brightened up, clapping his hands and exclaimed, Wonderful! Lulu suddenly realized. So that's how it is. I can't believe you could come up with such a brilliant idea. You're amazing. Being praised by Lulu, Sam felt a bit embarrassed. I just got lucky. It was just a sudden burst of inspiration. Seeing that Sam was not as rumored, Lulu apologized to him for her previous behavior. I misunderstood you before. I won't make the same mistake again in the future. However, I have a question to ask you. Sam had a question mark above his head. What's the question? Lulu approached Sam and said, Why are you wasting your talent by majoring in the Department of Foreign Languages? Do you know that your absence in the mathematics department is a huge loss for both the school and for you? Sam asked. Lulu, what do you think a university is? A university? A university is just a university. Is a university a set of courses, or is it an institution? I don't think it's either. I think choosing a major doesn't affect what you learn. Others think the same, otherwise there wouldn't be a system for cross-disciplinary graduate studies. But if you choose a major in mathematics, you will have better opportunities. Sam patted himself and said, I am different from you guys. I chose the Department of Foreign Languages just to be with the person I want to be with, Lulu. We are students studying knowledge, that's true. But before that, we first need to be somewhat emotional. I can get to where I am now, I think, thanks to the people around me. If it weren't for Diana, I wouldn't have worked so hard, and the top student system wouldn't have stayed with me, right? The dream girl he secretly admires actually followed Sam's advice and came to campus to relax. Edgar felt very uncomfortable. Originally, out of consideration for his fellow senior brothers, he was also a little reluctant to do so. It's no wonder I feel this way now. Just now, in the laboratory, Professor Chen agreed with some of Sam's views and earnestly patted Lulu's shoulder. Actually, I've been wanting to advise you for a long time. Have you been living in the laboratory for almost half a year recently? How long has it been since you called home? Sometimes, too much pressure can limit your thinking. Relaxing appropriately can actually make your mind more agile. Lulu feels deeply about it. Sam didn't expect to see a side worth learning from you in this aspect. The scene suddenly changes. Inside the campus, Edgar was strolling around when he overheard his classmates chatting. Have you heard? Someone at our school has solved the 5 great conjectures. It is said to be a disciple newly accepted by Dean. Admirable. At this moment, Edgar saw his longtime crush, dream girl, actually show up on campus for the first time. He was a bit surprised. Why is it so rare to see you today? You actually left the laboratory, he said. Lulu said shyly, I want to see what Sam and Dean should think. Maybe it would be good to relax a bit and see if it helps our minds stay sharp. What's going on with Edgar's differences? What happened? How did Lulu react to this? After a conversation, he finally learned about what happened in the laboratory. Lulu said to Edgar, I'll wander around on my own. You do as you please. He watched as his secretly admired dream girl drifted further away. Edgar's heart was filled with mixed feelings again, all because of this person Sam. He wants to anonymously report Sam for academic fraud to the International Mathematical Association. While Sam was in the laboratory, he had already received a system prompt indicating the task was completed. Sam couldn't wait to arrive at the dorm. He opened the system to claim the task reward. The system rewarded him with a skill, Sharp Eyes. What ability is Sharp Eyes? Sam took out 2 playing cards and placed them on the table. He activated his skill. He didn't expect to see the faces of the cards, as if he had X-ray vision. Sam called Troy over, who was drinking water. He took out 2 cards again, let Troy shuffle them randomly, then show him the cards with his back turned. Troy took the 2 cards and shuffled them frantically. Boss, I won't be your stooge. Come on, boss, take a guess. Sam activates a skill. On the left is a 2 of diamonds. Wow! Boss is amazing. How did you do it? Islanders are very cunning. He used the Xe conjecture, which is known as the world's 6th most difficult problem, as his verification question. He wants Sam to prove it within 2 hours. Otherwise, he will publicly declare that each country is committing academic fraud. Just when Sam was experimenting with new skills in the dorm, he suddenly received a call from Dean Chen. Sam, where are you? Come to my place quickly. Something big is happening. Someone has anonymously reported academic misconduct by you. An international inspection team has arrived to investigate. These people are coming aggressively. They probably have no good intentions. They don't care at all whether the BSD conjecture has been successfully proved. On the contrary, they insist that whether it is a successful proof or not, it is the achievement of others. The arrangement for you is to cultivate a young academic rising star. Now let's talk about the classification of scientists in this world. A level 1 scientist's achievements only stay within the known knowledge of mankind. Their highest achievement is creating some practical new patents. A level 2 scientist will slightly surpass the known knowledge of mankind by refining some uncertain knowledge. They publish influential papers in authoritative journals. A level 3 scientist has reached the boundaries of human knowledge. Their achievements are significant enough to form a school of thought. A level 4 scientist needs to bring new knowledge to humanity in order to qualify for recognition by all scientists worldwide. Today, there are no more than 100 level 4 scientists in the world. And in the conference room at Chin Uni. The visiting delegation this time consists of 1 level 3 scientist and 2 level 2 scientists. Island Country's level 3 scientist Sullivan is leading the team. Dean-chan is a bit worried that this might not be good news. Lulu on the side also mentioned that they heard it was based on an anonymous tip-off. It is said that our country, H country, is using the power of the whole nation to prove the BSD conjecture and pinning it on the younger generation, attempting to create academic stars. It's really laughable. Very few people know how to prove the BSD conjecture successfully. This anonymous tip-off is from someone I know. On the other side, Sullivan expressed, he just proved the XE conjecture. Level 2 scientist Mary from Y country is shocked that you actually proved the XE conjecture, which is known as the 6th most challenging problem besides the 5 great conjectures. Sullivan from Island country is very proud. He took out the first half of the evidence to share with everyone. M country level 2 scientist Tom is highly praised, truly very inspiring. If given a week, I could also complete the proof of the XE conjecture. Sullivan clapped his hands. He came up with a brilliant way to complete this investigation. He wanted Sam to complete the proof of the XE conjecture within 2 hours after reading the first half of his proof, despite the challenges from Island country. Sam faced the danger without fear, showing no signs of backing down. How could he be stumped by such a small problem posed by you? Sullivan spent decades proving his conjecture. Sam proved it in just a few minutes. Just now Sullivan represented the inspection group. He presented the auditing topic for this time, requiring Sam to prove the XE conjecture within 2 hours. Lulu strongly opposes. How could the approach to proving different problems be the same? He was pushed back, but Sam agreed to come down. I heard the conversation just now. So why did you still agree? The difficulty of the XE conjecture is world-class. Why do you have to complete it within 2 hours? Sam cannot back down. The old man from Island country wants to undermine the reputation of H country's academic community. When Sullivan saw someone agreeing to take on the challenge, he guessed that this person must be Sam. Can you represent your academic community in country H? At this moment, Dean Chen, a level 4 scientist in country H, supports Sam. On behalf of the mathematical community in country H, I promise you. Sam picked up the first half of Sullivan's XE conjecture proof. He activated the skill, the brainstorm fiasco. Sullivan extended an olive branch to Lulu at this gathering. This beautiful young lady, would you like to come to our Island country's university? Keep in mind that H country's academic community is in tatters. You only have 2 hours left. After 2 hours, your identity as a scholar from H country will be tarnished. No one will want you even if you want to go abroad. Lulu was very angry and was about to sarcastically criticize him. She was stopped by Mr. Sullivan, rescued by Sam. You don't need to worry about scholars from H country. Because it doesn't take 2 hours, I already know the complete train of thought for your XE conjecture proof. Mary from country Y was scared half to death. You only took a few minutes, which is not even enough time for a university student to complete an algebra problem. Sam just smiled slightly. Is there anything difficult to understand about this clumsy proof method? What? Nonsense. Clumsy? The expressions of the 3 individuals are mostly filled with astonishment. Sam put Sullivan's proof on the table. Just now. I have figured it out. The second, simpler proof method. From the first step, My approach is different from Mr. Sullivan's. Everyone present may want to listen. Dean Chen was very pleased to see Sam turn the situation around in just a few minutes. Sam did a great job. On the other hand, Sullivan simply does not believe that anyone could complete the proof in just a few minutes. He stood up and slammed the table, pointing at Sam, saying, "I want to see how you are going to make a fool of the academic community in our H country. How arrogant you were just a second ago. The next second you will be in great misery. I didn't expect a small island country level 3 scientist to want to embarrass H country. Today I will make you a joke. As long as I want, the whole world is mine." When faced with questioning from Sullivan, Sam remained calm and wrote down a new formula on the blackboard. Through this deduction, we can understand the scientific principle of because, therefore. The above is the train of thought for my proof. Tom from M Country remarked with emotion, "This is much more powerful than Mr. Sullivan's proof." Mary from Y Country looked at Sullivan beside her with a dejected look. Sullivan kept repeating, "Impossible, impossible," under his breath. His right hand, holding the water cup, was still trembling constantly. Has he already reached the level of a level 4 scientist? Dean Chen led the applause. We researchers shouldn't make a fuss about small things like this. SR discovered the summation formula at the age of 10. He proved the regular heptadecagon at the age of 24. True geniuses can shine brightly at a young age. Mary covered her mouth and called out to God, "Have I witnessed new history?" Sam approached Mr. Sullivan and did not know if Mr. Sullivan still remembered what he had just said. Who said that? H country is about to fall into disgrace, with only 2 hours left. I see that. Island country is about to lose face in public in just a few minutes. Dean Chen is rushing over to save the situation. He doesn't want Sam to leave with a bad reputation. He said to Sam, "Although we are in the right, you are still just a student from our H country, while the other party is a top professor from Island country. We should still give him the respect he deserves." Sullivan sat dejectedly in the chair. This time, he lost face in the International Inspection Group. He will probably become a joke after returning to the country. Tom pulled Mary aside and whispered that the math world is about to change. I need to quickly inform our society. They were discussing very seriously, completely unaware of the dejected Sullivan behind them. Who would turn their gaze to a failure compared to a brighter new star? The next day, the entire school was full of rumors about Sam, even spreading on the internet. Students were discussing Sam's story. Just as Edgar, who was on his way to the laboratory, received a call from Dean, he heard, "Have you heard? Our school has produced a genius. And not just any genius." Edgar didn't expect Sam to be so amazing. He was still thinking about how to deal with Sam. Achievements that others can only reach in a lifetime. Sam only spent a little over half a day. Just now, Edgar received a call from Dean Chen asking him to come to the laboratory. Upon arriving at the laboratory, Edgar pushed the door open and walked in. "Dean, you wanted to see me?" He didn't expect to only see the figures of Sam and Lulu. Edgar was a bit surprised. "How come you are here?" Seeing Edgar, Lulu was immediately furious. "It was me who made Dean avoid you." How could Edgar admit it? He's still pretending to be clueless about the anonymous report. Lulu is clutching the evidence on the table. She firmly stated that the International Investigation Team had affirmed the correctness of the BSD conjecture proof. They just suspect that this proof may not be Sam's work. They must have looked at the original document of the proof to be so convinced that it would unlock the BSD conjecture for us. With the exception of Dean Chen, Sam, you, and me, there is no fifth person who knows about this original document. Lulu hurls the evidence fiercely onto Edgar's face. You are a top talent student at H country's prestigious institution. You have become so stupid under the influence of jealousy. Edgar can't believe how things turned out this way. He wants to salvage the situation. It's my fault. I was confused. You don't have to tell me. It's Sam who needs to apologize. Edgar is kneeling on the ground begging for Sam's forgiveness. It was a moment of confusion. Please forgive me. Sam is very indifferent. He thought that Lulu had called him over for something else. It turns out it was just a small matter. Lulu and Edgar are both confused. A small matter? My entire future is about to be ruined. And you think this is just a small matter? Edgar is very angry. Sam took a deep breath and stood in front of Edgar. You used what you have earned in your lifetime. It just delayed me for half a day. So is this a small matter to me? Sam returned to the dorm. Troy and Jay didn't expect that the one plotting against Sam turned out to be Sam Sr. The two were still puzzled as to why Sam let him go so easily. It's possible that Sam considered him just an ant and thought that if he wanted to crush him, he could do it easily. Jay is very excited. Boss, you are too handsome. I heard that the old man from that island country can't even speak anymore. So satisfying. Troy echoed. He is the boss now, just like a celebrity. When I talk to girls now, I just mention that I live in the same dorm as Sam, and I can definitely get their phone numbers. Sam laughed and sighed. Are these two trying to boost my popularity or sabotage it?